welcome to Movie Review Mom. If you're a current subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. And if you're new to this channel, yay, you found it. I'm so glad you're here. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to spend time and money watching a specific film. So that specific film that I'm reviewing today is actually a documentary called La Liste, which means the list in French. And the subtitle is Everything or Nothing. It's a beautiful documentary about daring athletics, and it releases on Apple TV Plus on February 15th, 2022. So the documentary doesn't have an actual MPAA rating, but I think I would give it a rating of R simply because there's like 100 F-bombs in the film. The film is 85 minutes long, and I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, some interesting movie lines, and even some recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that I think you might also really like if you like this one. Okay, let's dive in. In a nutshell, it's winter, which means ski season. Yay! I grew up skiing and I love the sport. In fact, I have a first place trophy to prove it. Technically, I won it because I fell down the mountain faster than anybody else. I'm not even kidding. So back in 2016, free skier 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗁𝗃𝗃𝗄 compiled a list of some of the most daunting and iconic peaks in the Alps to then free ride down them at record speeds. Having developed a taste for adrenaline, the Swiss skier, known amongst his peers as the fastest skier in the world, collaborates with his close friend, Sam Anthem-Matten, to set off on an ambitious new endeavor that will take them across the world. And we get to go across the world with them on that journey. I love getting to travel while watching a film. And in this film, we get to visit Peru, Pakistan, Switzerland, and London. So their plan that they call a project is simple, but by no means safe, as the duo write up the new shortlist, this time of some of the most awe-inspiring, intimidating mountain ranges on planet Earth, finding high altitude peaks that surpass 6,000 meters, taking the notion of steep skiing to a whole new level and redefining what it means to be a free rider. The film was directed by Eric Crossland. Crossland is one of the principal founders of 𝗟𝗃𝗲𝗄 cinema. For the last 20 years, he's been filming and directing action sports films that have redefined the genre with intricate storytelling, hard-hitting visuals, genuine character development, and creative sound design. He's developed a directorial style all his own that conveys the soulful core of his subjects. And I thought he did an excellent job. Click down below and you'll see links to some of his other movies, and I'll recommend a few other ones here at the very end. And also click down below because there's a coupon where you can get a free 30-day trial on Amazon Prime where you can watch some of his films. All right, so the list of things that I liked is pretty long. The film has absolutely gorgeous cinematography by the team of Leo Horn, Dave Mossop, Josh Levine, and Jamie Tanner. I also really loved that the cameras were on the skiers' helmets so that we could see their runs from their perspective as they're flying down the mountains. It's amazing. I'd never seen a film produced by Red Bull Studios before. It makes sense that they would be involved with such a high adrenaline film like this one. I learned a new phrase in the movie, Schrund. In German, you say Bergschrund. So Schrund is short for Bergschrund. My grandmother was German, although I'm probably not saying that word correctly. Anyway, it means that crevice, the crevasse, that forms where moving glacier ice separates from the stagnant ice above. It's often a serious obstacle for mountaineers. One of the skiers actually gets injured very badly in the film, and we see the actual moment, which is amazing and horrifying. And I really appreciated that the film spent some time showing the real dangers and risks of what these extreme athletes were doing. And they admit it several times. They're like, whoa, when various things happen, and you're like, oh, and they start to kind of wonder, maybe should we not be doing this? But you can see they are so passionate about their sport and really pushing the boundaries of that sport that they just keep going. The soundtrack for the film is really great and matches what you're seeing on screen beautifully. It didn't surprise me that one of the skiers had a big chipped tooth, and he kind of makes fun of it a little bit. There's no way that you can be that kind of an extreme skier and not have many damaged body parts. It's truly amazing what these skiers do. And keep watching during the final rolling credits for more footage of incredible skiing action. In the press notes that were sent to me, the director stated, quote, "I chose to direct this film because I wanted to show people outside of the ski community how incredibly dangerous and challenging high altitude ski mountaineering is. While watching this film, I would like the viewer to experience the intense feelings of emotion and decision-making of navigating, traveling, and skiing the highest altitude mountain ranges in the world. Most ski films show just ski descent. I wanted to show everything behind the scenes that goes into getting those skiing descents. The challenges of making this film while working in a high elevation with little oxygen and a frigid environment with no electricity, with minimal crews, and in some of the most dangerous mountains in the world during the most challenging time of year in these mountains for avalanche conditions. COVID also really isolated everybody on the film team, and we did not use the same crews for all of the expeditions. This film will always be special because I'm so proud of Jeremy and the crew for the life-changing experiences they faced." End quote. I really had a hard time coming up with things that I didn't like about the film because I was just mesmerized. It's, like I said, beautifully done and just stunning cinematography and just thrilling sports action. But I always need to think of something. And so the first thing that I was going to mention of things that I didn't like is that if you're afraid of heights, you're definitely going to feel uncomfortable and probably scared quite a few times during this film. Also, I would have loved to have learned at the end of the film what project these skiers are planning on next. They're young and have a whole lifetime of sports and records that they can break, and I'm sure that they will. They definitely have the guts and the grit and the talent. So let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, there are a lot of subtitles to read as French is spoken often in the film. Not always, though. Some of these guys that are highlighted, a French guy, the Swiss guy, they actually do speak English, which is great for English-speaking audiences. But you do get to hear them speaking French in their own accents. A skier gets injured very badly, and you see a lot of blood. There are many F-bombs and some other profanity. And a special warning for parents is that kids may be tempted to do what they see on the screen. While raising my 4 sons, I am very thankful that only one of them has gone on to do dangerous things, which is pretty lucky statistically, that only 1 in 4. All right, let me give you some themes that are worth talking about after you watch the film. Obviously, downhill skiing, free speed skiing, and mountaineering, extreme sports for sure, risk, passion, pushing one's limits, and the beauty and danger of nature. I always include funny lines and interesting lines on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, so you can run over there and check them out. I didn't write down any funny lines because while these guys are fairly jovial, what they're doing is very serious stuff. I mean, they love it, and you can tell they're having so much fun, but it's serious. And so some of the interesting lines that I thought were really good are this one to start off by a skier talking about the mountains in Pakistan specifically. He says, these mountains, I mean, they are nature's finest work. I mean, they are real cathedrals. And they are, like I said, the shots that these cinematographers get are just so impressive. Another interesting line from an older retired skier is, those who love the mountain are the ones who fight with the mountain. And I thought that was interesting. You can definitely tell these guys respect nature, respect the mountain, but they are also driven to try to do what nobody else has done before. And then two more lines I'll share with you. Everything in an expedition has the capacity to change you. And you actually see that character development and see that they have learned some lessons. And then another one finally says, joy gives life purpose. And you see that joy on their faces as they're skiing. So ultimately, my movie review mom grade for this documentary is an A. Before we go, let me give you some recommendations for a couple of other movies that I instantly thought of. The first one is called Free Solo. It hit the theaters and is now available online on video on demand. And that one features a mountain climber, rock climber, mountaineer kind of a guy. And then another one is called The Alpinist. And what he does is crazy. He climbs like icicles that are falling off of waterfalls and climbs mountains and all that kind of stuff. Again, if you love this movie, you're going to be interested in watching that. All right, that's it for my movie review. Thanks for watching and sticking to the end. I really appreciate that. You can visit me on my Movie Review Mom Facebook group, as well as follow me on Instagram with Movie Review Mom or Trina Boice, which is my name. All right, have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.